Why do narcissists block you and unblock you? This can be so maddening when you're dealing with a toxic person, right? You think you're in a relationship with them, and then you're trying to send them a message, you're trying to be in communication with them, and then there they are. They're blocking you, they're unblocking you. It's just so crazy making. Well, I'm going to go into this video. By the end of this video, not only am I going to tell you why they're doing it, I'm going to tell you what to do about it. Hey, I'm Rebecca Zung. I'm an attorney. I'm also a globally recognized narcissist negotiation expert and the author of Slay the Bully, How to Negotiate with a Narcissist and Win, which is a nationally recognized bestseller, USA Today #1 bestseller. I want you to have all the power tools in your hands for a change. So if you're new here, I welcome you warmly and I invite you to subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you're coming back, welcome back. All right. So if you found yourself bewildered in dealing with these crazy making narcissists and wondering what the hell when you're dealing with narcissists, and especially with this childish toddler behavior in what back and forth, push, pull. It's this crazy making, right? Especially when you're dealing in the discard phase. And this is where I often come into the picture. It can be very, very challenging, very, very much a struggle. And especially when you think that maybe you're getting somewhere, but it's that stress hormone that goes off now, the cortisol, dopamine, and that's what causes this physiological addiction. It causes that trauma bond, and it's what causes a lot of problems for a lot of people. And I very much understand it. So first of all, why? Power and control, of course. The power and control dynamics, they get off on it. They actually get off on it. Part of the reason why they move the goalposts in negotiations as well. So a lot of times, they'll send over an agreement, and by the time you hem and haw and you go, well, this isn't even what I want, but I guess I'll just take it because then at least it'll be over and it'll be free. And by the time you go back to them and say, okay, well, then that deal's off the table because they say you took too long or, whatever. They just, the wind blew. If you guys can relate, just say totally in the comments, because at the core of narcissistic behavior lies an insatiable need for power and control. It's all about feeding that dark black hole, that need for supply, almighty supply. So remember, when we're talking about supply, it's that need to feed that black hole, that void that lives inside of them. And there's two types of narcissistic supply that I define. Most people say one, but I say there's two. One is how they look to the world, that adulation, that or reputation or image. I call it diamond level supply. And then the other one is what I call coal level supply, which is that dark underbelly of narcissistic supply, or what I call secondary supply, which is manipulation, passive aggression, smearing people. And that's the one that they also love. And they will also protect and defend at any cost, even at the cost of their children, by the way. And that is that need for power and control. That's that dominance. That's what they want to use to keep you off balance. It's to get you off balance. And that's what's going on here with that blocking and unblocking. And even in the discard phase, here you are, your social media, and you're trying to reach them or whatever, block you, unblock you, right? It's a manipulation tool. An example might be Sarah, who confronts her partner about the manipulative behavior. And in response, the person blocks her on all social media platforms, leaving her feeling isolated and powerless. And this tactic is designed to silence the voice and maintain control over the relationship dynamics. And another example might be John, who receives criticism from a colleague during a team meeting, feeling threatened. He immediately blocks them from his professional network, refusing to engage in any kind of constructive dialogue. And this preemptive strike is to shield his fragile ego from, any further scrutiny, and maintains his illusion of superiority. That's the first reason. The second reason is fear of exposure. So what happens with narcissists is that they want to take you down before you can take them down. And I often say that this is when the beginning of the discard phase, right? And so narcissists harbor a deep-seated fear of exposure. And this is, where you can build your leverage from, by the way. And in my SLAY methodology, strategy, leverage, anticipate, you, strategy and leverage are built around that exposure piece, that diamond level supply. And especially when their carefully crafted facade is at risk of being shattered, blocking serves as a preemptive strike to avoid confrontation and shield themselves from accountability. So, for example, you have Emily, who uncovers evidence of her friend's deceitful behavior and confronts her friend about the truth. And what happens is there's a desperate attempt to preserve the image. And then the friend blocks Emily on all communication channels, effectively cutting ties, face the consequences of the actions. And another example, David shares constructive feedback with his boss, highlighting areas for improvement within the team instead of addressing feedback constructively. The boss blocks out David, unwilling to acknowledge any shortcomings or vulnerabilities. This is a defensive type of maneuver, right? Shielding their ego from criticism and maintains their illusion of infallibility. And the next reason is it's a hoovering tactic. You know what hoovering is? It's like a vacuum. Like, once you're done, you think you're done, you think you're free and you're gone. And then they suck you back in just like a vacuum. So that cycle of blocking and unblocking is commonly known as hoovering. It's a hallmark of narcissistic behavior. So it's a manipulative tactic, which is designed to keep you emotionally stuck. It's like to get you back in, suck you back in. You think you're free. And no, there you are back under their control, back in the web, cycling back in between that punishment and reward, punishment and reward, punishment and reward. And that's what ends up happening. An example of that would be Mia, who decides to end her toxic relationship with her narcissistic partner, citing their abusive behavior as the primary reason. In response, the partner blocks her, effectively cutting off all communication. And when they sense that Mia is moving on, finally free, finally getting powerful again, they unblock her, showering her with all the good things, love bombing, back into the promising to change, and then only to be back into the abusive behavior again, like as soon as back into the web, back into the lair, once the person is emotionally invested again, right? It's like they can exhale again. All right. So then another example might be Alex, who asserts his boundaries with his narcissistic parent and then says, you know what, I'm not tolerating your manipulative behavior anymore. Then in retaliation, the parent actually blocks Alex, and in an attempt to exert control over his decisions. But when they need something from him, they unblock him to manipulate him back into compliance. It's so sick. Like, this kind of behavior is very sick. Everything they do is a manipulation. I always say everything they do is a manipulation. That's the motivation. Those are the motivations behind the blocking and unblocking. So, what can you do about it? If you are dealing with this, by the way, I highly recommend that you document this behavior, especially if you are dealing with a narcissist. I have a really good way for you to get started and what you should be documenting. You can get that at docthenarc.com. It's exactly what you should be documenting. So go check that out. It's totally free and it's all for you. Go check that out. And also, my book, Slay the Bully, has like so much in it, and you can get that everywhere books are sold. But now that we've talked about that, I want to just go into some of the strategies that you can use to help you to protect your emotional well-being and start to heal your emotional well-being. First of all, recognize that it's their emotional insecurities and it has nothing to do with you. I mean, they're like toddlers having a tantrum on the floor. So you just gotta like understand that they're like 2-year-olds that are just, you're like, okay, you done yet? All right. All right. Well, when you're done, and then you just got to start to look at it like that. And instead of like taking it personally, because it is not a reflection of your worth. It has nothing to do with you. So you got to start putting those firm boundaries in place and start just putting that invisible shield down around you and just start looking at it like that. I really, start to encourage you to use some phrases like, this approach is not working for me. And I can see that you're upset. And we can have this conversation when you can be respectful and just observe, don't absorb, and respond, don't react. I say use SOS, like stop, observe, and then speak. That way you can just stop, take a breath, observe, and then speak, and just start to observe the behavior almost like you're a third party. And that way you're not like absorbing it. You're not part of that anymore. You can start to remove yourself from that. I encourage you guys to share your experiences below in the comments because your insights and stories really do foster a sense of community here and provide valuable support to other people who are navigating this situation and help each other to support each other. And if you need additional support, definitely join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung, too. There's a huge community there of people who are supporting each other on a daily basis. And that will help you tremendously also. And so I just want to say, understanding the psychology behind narcissists blocking and unblocking you is so critical for when you go to negotiate with narcissists, when you go to communicate, deal with, interact with. All of that is so, so important so that you have effective strategies in dealing with them and understanding that you can overcome these challenging dynamics and you can get the confidence that you need and you can have the resilience that you need. So many people in my community have done that, thousands and thousands of people at this point. So make sure that you subscribe here, hit that notification bell, that you like this video, that you share this video. Remember that you can equip yourself with the tools and strategies that you need. All right. So the next video that I want you to watch is Narcissist Favorite Text Messages. That will also really, really help you a lot. Before you head on over there, remember that today's a great day to start negotiating your best life. And I will see you in that next video. It is so hard to find a great mentor in every aspect of your life for all the different things that you need. I was so excited when I found Masterclass because you can have the dream mentor in every area of your life. Like somebody like Anna Wintour for me, because she's such a great, effective female leader in the areas of leadership and creativity. So, but you can find a masterclass in any area of your life, in anything that you want to become the best in whatever it is that you want to be the best at. Masterclass is the only streaming platform that you can learn and grow in over 200 areas for just $10 a month for an annual membership. You can have unlimited access to whatever instructor you want. And you can even access it on your phone, your computer, your TV, whatever it is that you stream from, right? And the classes make a difference in 88% of the members that access it. So I know I have learned so much myself in being a more effective communicator. Plus, every membership comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Don't wait another moment for your learning journey. Just go ahead and give Masterclass a try, because right now our listeners, our viewers, get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/negotiate. That's 15% off any masterclass at masterclass.com/negotiate.